Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me, you guys. We are back at it this Monday. We have the Monday after Easter. Hope you guys had a wonderful Easter weekend or Easter Sunday. Um, I know a lot of the kids are at home right now just because of spring break. If you're like my kids, so if you hear some kids in the background, that's what's going on there. What else do we have? We have a new quarter. I have been telling a lot of the agents that are in my office that the start of a new quarter is like a new beginning. I also think Mondays are like a new beginning as well. But it started as a new quarter is like a new beginning, a time where you can kind of hit that reset button and change some things around and correct some things, make adjustments, make some new goals. So hopefully you guys are doing that. So on Mondays, I like to come on here and share some information with you guys as it relates to what's going on in the real estate market. So thank you for joining me today. Today, my topic is I'm going to give you 3 tips on some things that you can do if you are trying to invest in real estate. I oftentimes talk about, traditional buyers and sellers, but I also like to talk about real estate investing. And so I'm seeing some things in the marketplace happening here. And I want to talk about that. I want to share some information with you guys on how you can benefit or be most productive or, just help you out with this whole process. So let's get started. All right, so welcome back. Thank you for joining me today. If this is the first time that you are joining me, welcome, welcome. Please like or subscribe to my channel, please, you guys. I like to come on here on Mondays. I kind of call it my Market Monday update, where I just talk about some things that are going on actively in the real estate market. Answer any questions. A lot of times you guys will just put out some questions out there. I like to answer those questions as well. Today, I am talking about 3 things that you should know if you plan on investing in this real estate market. Some things that you should prepare for, some things that I'm seeing. I work with a lot of real estate investors and talk to a lot of people who are having some missteps. And so I want to help give you some information to guide you along the way. So I'm going to start at my number 3 and work my way back to number 1. So my number 3 thing that you should do is be prepared to go. If you have not heard, I'm here to let you know that we are in a seller's market. It also is a time to buy, oddly enough, just because interest rates are low. So if you're a traditional buyer, great time to buy just because the interest rates are really low right now. And so, but it's just really hard. You have to be patient to find the perfect home for you and your family. But if you're a real estate investor and you want to purchase a home, you want to make sure that you're prepared and ready to go. So what does that mean? A lot of times people will do things kind of out of order. They start looking for the property first, find the potential opportunity. Now they have to go back and talk to their lender. And so the problem with doing that is you didn't work out the lender and how you were going to pay for this house, your financing. So that takes some time. So in this market right now, you have to move very quickly. When we're submitting those offers, we don't have the time to put contingent upon financing or contingent upon some of these other things. Really, when you go in, you want to know your numbers. You want to be able to go out to that property, review it, have an understanding of what the cost is going to be, and write that offer on the spot and remove as many contingencies as possible, like your inspections and everything else like that. So that number 3 thing is going to be prepared, ready to go. We want to have as minimal amount of contingencies in that contract, ready to transact, closing within 2 weeks, cash if possible, if you're working with a hard money lender, then your contract or your funding is considered cash because they have the cash. They can close quickly on the deal. So if you want to get into this, fix and flip game, this rental game of real estate, then you need to be prepared. You need to work on the financing piece of it up front and then find the property, because these properties are just not sticking around long enough. And so you have lots of people out there that are in a position that have cash that can beat you out. So you're going to win or see better success if you've already taken care of those things. So my number 2 thing is going to be understanding the construction and renovation costs, right? This is so important. This could really almost be my number 1, but it's so important for you to really understand those renovation costs and not going off of what somebody told you, the person that has the listing, or if you're finding an off-market deal, what someone else has told you. Price points of these houses. So as I just mentioned, we are in a seller's market, and that's just not in traditional real estate. This is in the investor market as well. Even if it's a foreclosed property, we're seeing these properties that go for much higher than we've seen, in the recent years. So it's important now more than ever that you understand what your renovation costs are, because the purchase price of the house is going for much higher. So your budget for your renovation costs are very critical in this, because it can make or break your deal. We all get into real estate investing because we want to turn a profit. As part of turning a profit, we need to understand what our numbers are. So if you have a good system in place to really go in initially yourself, when reviewing and you're doing your tour of your list of houses, you're previewing and everything, you want to go in really understanding and be realistic. And the realistic number is not one where you're like shaving things off or trying to cut back on the renovation on the project. That's the other thing I'm seeing when I'm going out and I'm looking at properties. You didn't plan, a lot of investors didn't plan for that budget accordingly. So they purchased the property at a high amount. The renovation costs, that is, and actually renovation costs are going up because lumber has increased, window has increased, and time frames have gotten longer on a lot of this stuff. So you want to make sure that you definitely understand the renovation costs, and that does not mean cut corners and try to do less on the house, because it's going to show, especially you're going to be comparing to the other homes on the market. So you always want to make sure that you're able to offer a top quality product. So not scaling back on what you're going to do or just try to do little minimum touch-ups in the house. Buyers can see that when they walk in the door. So we want to give them a top quality product. But we also want to make sure that this project can meet those numbers. I see so many investors just so caught up on wanting to make a deal that you're not making any money at the end of the day, because you just was so pressed instead of holding off. If you can't find that right opportunity right now, then you just need to wait and find the opportunity that fits the model, that fits within the budget, and stop trying to squeeze it in and just trying to make it work. So my number 2 thing is going to be the understanding the construction / renovation costs of your project is very critical in this market. Right. And so my number 1 thing that I want to share with you guys is to understand and know the after repair of the value of the homes. So this is another thing that's going to be super important for you guys. It plays into the number 2 item, which was the renovation costs. So you know what you can potentially buy that property for, what your renovation costs are. And after you do that, what is the true value of the property? If it comes in low from what you had on paper and you get more for an end, great. But we want to be realistic on where the numbers are going to be. So this is so important for you to understand, because if you know what the after repair value is that you're working towards, the renovation costs, that will help you determine what the max amount is that you can pay for that property up front. Every property should have a max amount of an offer that you are not willing to go over. And so many people, you're trying to just force this and make this happen. Why are you doing this, right? You get into renovation and rental property because we want to make a profit. And once you set that minimum budget amount that you have identified, for some people, they might be okay with only making $5,000 on a deal. 10 or $20,000, on a deal, whatever that number is, you want to make sure that you are buying the property, have the renovation costs, and there's enough meat on the bone for you in the end. So knowing your numbers is going to be very important. Now, most of you're not licensed real estate agents, so you don't have access to the MLS. Well, there's certain things that you can do even without the MLS. Number one, you can connect with a real estate agent who can help give you a price opinion of a home that you are thinking about purchasing or thinking about renovating, right? Number two, this is where you can use tools like Zillow that will give that Zestimate, where you type in the address and it will show you what the property sold for in the area. So those are ways that you can help identify or see what the after repair value is on a home. The other thing is, if you work with me, I can give you a link for HomeSnap is another area where you can find the information that you're looking for. So if you want to buy or invest in real estate in this current market, there's no fake it until you make it at this stage of the game. This market that we're in right now, you need to be savvy, and we really need to understand what our true numbers are, because there's very little room for error, because the purchase price of these homes have gone up. The renovation costs have gone up just because the building materials, just from COVID, the building materials have gone up, and projects are maybe taking a little bit longer. Windows are taking much longer to get in. So these are all things that you have to factor in, which means you may have longer periods for your contractors or your subcontractors or your workers to be on site, which increases the payroll piece of it. So know your numbers is what it all boils down to at the end of the day. So number one was understanding what that after repair value is going to be. Number two is understanding your construction and renovation costs. And then number three, be prepared and ready to go. Get your financing lined up. How are you going to pay for this project? So those are my 3 tips that I want to share with you guys today. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to connecting with you. If you guys have any questions, send me a DM or shoot me a comment. And if I don't, I will address it, respond to you, or maybe I'll share it for everyone that joins in and listens. So make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to connecting with you guys during this second quarter and all of 2021. And I just want to say, have a wonderful day. Okay. All right, Bella, I will check that for you and get back to you. All right. Thanks. Have a good day, guys.